What's going on, everyone? Cam McGully here. I'm going to be giving you guys a good in-depth look on how to build rune pages and item build for Pyke, the new support assassin champion. There's two rune pages that I suggest. First of them being Aftershock page. The reason you'll want to run Aftershock is Pyke does not gain any health due to his passive. You can't build any health at all. So the only thing keeping you alive is going to be your resistances. This is why you want Aftershock. You have two ways to proc it in both your Q and your E. Once you get in there, initiate with either of those two spells. Aftershock would keep you alive for a lot longer with those extra resists. It gives you a lot more survivability to get back out of the fight and use your passive to regen back up your health and then return to the fight and help your allies. I think it's probably the best keystone for Pyke, which sounds a little weird because he's an assassin, but trust me and try it. After that, there's really only one option, bone plating. I don't think anyone takes anything other than that. I also suggest you take conditioning. Again, the only thing keeping you alive is going to be your resistances. You want to build those up as much as possible. Crystallis, it's okay. I prefer conditioning. So last, you can go Overgrowth, Revitalize, or Unflinching. The first two don't really do much for you, so I would go with Unflinching, being able to go in, either use the Flash or I'm going to suggest you run Ignite, use those spells, gain your extra tenacity and slow resistance. Going to be very helpful for, again, like I said, getting into the fight and being able to get out alive and use your passive to stay alive. You got to take Domination Tree second because there's too much there to use as an assassin that none of the other trees will give you. So I say you either go with Cheap Shot or Sudden Impact. Kind of depends on the game. If you're going to be setting up for your teammates a lot, you might want to go Cheap Shot. If you are going to be building as much damage as possible, which, let's face it, you are, probably want to take Sudden Impact because of when leaving stealth, you're going to deal that extra damage. So secondly, you could go Eyeball Collection. I don't think that'd be a bad choice. Gaining the extra bonus AD will help you in the long run. You could also go Zombie Ward if you're big about vision. But I say that you should take Relentless Hunter. And the reason for that is Relentless Hunter is going to give you that out-of-combat movement speed, and you kind of want to play Pyke like a Bard or an Alistair. You want to be going between the lanes and putting as much pressure on the map as you can throughout the laning phase. So getting that bonus movement speed will allow you to get from lane to lane quicker and impact the map that much easier. Second, got a damage page. I think that you can either go Electrocute or Dark Harvest. I played around with Dark Harvest. I like it a lot. You wait for the cannon minion to drop the essence, and then you go for a trade, and you'll get all that bonus damage. Electrocute's a more reliable one to use, but I think Dark Harvest is very nice, especially if you predict the game's going to go late. After that, again, I suggest Sudden Impact, then either Eyeball Collection or Zombie Ward, and I suggest Relentless Hunter. In this page, I take Triumph. You could alternatively go Resolve. Again, take Bone Plating and Conditioning. Kind of depends on the game, but I say take Triumph. Get your health back if you get a takedown. It's going to be pretty critical because you're such a low health champion. And then I say take the Tenacity. Like I said, you want to get in and out of those fights unimpeded. Alright, so for items on Pyke, I suggest that you start the Relic Shield. It allows you to execute the minions. It's one of the more reliable ways to get the gold. But also, I suggest it because of the remnant of the aspect, which I'll talk about in a bit. You want to go with the refillable pot. If you're unconfident, you can go with the just regular health potions, but with your passive and your W being able to either go back into a brush after a trade or use your W and get that health pack, I think you'll be okay with just a refillable, and it'll get you more value in the long run. On your first back, try and finish your Targans and your boots, and hopefully you can get a control ward along with that. Targans just so you can get the upgrade quicker, boots to be able to impact the map. You can go for early Mobies, like I said, like an Alistair, or you can get whichever boots fit your play style that game. If they're all AD, maybe go Ninja Tabby, just like that. First thing you want to complete after your Targans is going to be a Phage. The way Pyke's passive works, every 14 health turns into 1 AD. You do not gain bonus health, you just gain AD. So 1 AD is worth 35 gold, and 35 gold can buy you 13.5 health. That means that buying health is only slightly less effective than buying AD, and a lot of the health items have really good passives on it. Phage gives you attack damage and health, and you'll end up with around just over 30 attack damage from buying the Phage, and it also gives you that rage passive to, as I keep mentioning, just weave in and out of those fights quicker, reposition with the movement speed. Your core items are going to be Black Cleaver and Remnant of the Aspect. Reason I say Remnant of the Aspect, if you're going to be supporting, you do need to keep your vision game up, but also it gives you the 10% cooldown reduction, that base health regen, which is really good, again, for getting in and out of fights, and then the 350 health, which will be converted to AD. The item itself is about 140% gold efficient, which is going to help you a lot in terms of your build. You'll get there quicker, so it's a very good item. Suggest picking it up, not only on Pyke, but other health supports that could use it as well. It's a very good item, underrated in my opinion. Black Cleaver, you're going to be getting almost 70 AD, the 20 cooldown reduction, and then the 2 passives. The Shred Armor passive, fantastic, and I just talked about the Rage passive. I think it is the first item to build on Pyke almost every single game. There's just too much about it that it's got going for us, and it's not too expensive. Definitely pick that up first, and then you're already going to be at 30% CDR. The reason I've been mentioning CDR so much is Pyke's cooldowns are very high, so you need to get those down so that you can have an impact more than once per fight. And if you get Black Cleaver right away, you're going to be only at 5,000 gold, you're going to be at 30% CDR, and you'll basically be good for the rest of the game. After that, you should go into a resist item. As I mentioned previously, Pyke gets no resistance, or no extra health, so you need to get the resistances to be able to survive longer in fights. If you're against a heavy AD team, I would go Guardian Angel. If you're against a mixed team, I would also go Guardian Angel. But if you're against either like a bursty lane, like a Brand or something like that, probably pick up not the Maw, but the Hex Drinker first, to get yourself through either the lane phase or a heavy AP team. After that, the build kind of varies, so I would go these two into a resist item, and then that's where you start running into more options. If you're still dying too quick, they have a pretty good mixed comp. You could go for the other of the two. So you could either go GA into Hex Drinker or Hex Drinker into GA if you see you need more survivability. If you're kind of ahead and you want to keep pushing limits, that's when you probably want to go into one of these damage options. I would say Duskblade is the best of the three for sure, followed closely by the Edge of Night. Duskblade gives you the lethality, the cooldown reduction, which will put you at 40% maxed, and then it also gives you the vision abilities that come along with it. The Edge of the Night is pretty interesting because you can use the shield that lasts for 7 seconds right as you're about to go in. You can channel it and then go into your W, be invisible, and when you pop out, you're going to be safe from a CC ability. So it'll help you get the rest of your combo off. I very much like Edge of Night. If they have any hard CC, any like point and click hard CC, any Alistair, I would go Edge of Night first. That 250 health is going to be turned into probably around 20 AD, so that's not even too bad. That's like 70 AD, which is actually going to give you more than the Duskblade. But Duskblade passive is very nice with your, it synergizes well with your W. After that, you want to go into probably some more utility for your team. You could go utility first if you're behind. That's why I said that you have a lot of options. I would say first out of these is probably Righteous Glory. That 400 health is going to get turned into almost 30 AD. You're getting more base health regen, 30 armor, and 10% CDR. So try not to go above 40% CDR if you're going to pick up Duskblade or fully complete your Mob Malmortius. Don't pick up Righteous Glory, vice versa. Don't be double dipping past 40% CDR. Alternatively, you can go Randuin's Omen if you're getting deleted by an AD team, a high crit AD carry. It's good. The active is very good. Side note on going back to Righteous Glory really quick. Make sure that you activate the Righteous Glory before you use your W. If you use Righteous Glory well in W, it will take you out of the stealth. If you want to do another kind of fun option is Static Shiv. I think this one's kind of almost in the not worth it tier down here because Duskblade and Edge of Night kind of do what this gold would do better. Other things that are not worth it, you might think, oh, I can turn all this health into AD. 800 health from Warmargs must be a crap ton of AD. And you're right, it's about 70 AD, which is a lot. But the whole reason that you want Warmogs is for the Warmog's Heart passive, which you'll never get because you'll never be above the health threshold. So you're losing out on a lot of the stats that make Warmogs so good. So I would not suggest it. I'm not saying that you can't get it and it's not gonna help you because it does boost your stats. I'm just saying it's not worth it. Steric's Gauge, another thing that's not worth it. Yes, it has 450 health, but 450 health is a lot of cost. Or 3200 is a lot of cost for only 450 health, which is going to be just over 30 AD. Yes, you gain 50% of your base attack damage as bonus attack damage, but the passive lifeline is not going to work on you because you will not gain extra health. So you'll get a little attack damage steroid when lifeline would have gone off, I think, but is that attack damage steroid going to keep you alive? Probably not. Will it win you a fight every once in a blue moon? Probably. Is it worth spending 3,200 gold? No, don't do it. Another one that you might be thinking is going to be great for Pyke is Death's Dance. 3,500 gold, not worth it. Yes, it gives you the 10% cooldown reduction and a crap ton of attack damage, but the passives, gaining the health off of your abilities and the bleed damage, or your damage being taken as a bleed, is not worth it because your skills are on such a long cooldown that you will not be able to make effective use of the dealing physical damage healing to overcome the bleed out time, because you're going to bleed out faster than you can get your abilities back off and live. So yeah, that's what I would say builds for Pyke. I would go these two almost every single time, Black Cleaver and Remnant of the Aspect, and more than likely picking up the GA into Duskblade and Righteous Glory. A lot of games. That's kind of the core. I like getting both of these, Edge of Night and Duskblade. So yeah, that's what I'd say. If you liked this build guide, feel free to like the video. I will be putting out more League of Legends content. I also play Rainbow Six Siege a lot, and you'll be seeing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege videos coming out on my channel in the coming weeks. If you like me, probably not, because I have a terrible fucking monotone voice and you probably didn't even make it this far. But if you did, I thank you, and put anything you want me to discuss in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks. Have a patriotic day.
Why is everybody always picking on me?